Welcome in everybody to the Saturday version of the DPC Eastern European Division, and we're going to be getting ourselves into a great day of Dota. We've got 3 series to come. It's going to be Nemiga versus One Move, and then Navi versus VP, and Hellraisers up against Darkside. There could be some twists and turns today, Harry, because Nemiga, they have to win to be in with a chance of keeping themselves up in Division 1. One Move as well. Both teams here. This is a relegation scrap potentially coming into this first series.
Yep, if One Move wins, we are going to be saying goodbye to Nemiga, but if Nemiga wins, then all hell could break loose. Or, it could just be Navi wins against Nemiga tomorrow and nothing happens, but we're all hoping for those twists and turns and for us to have even more fun Dota here in Division 1.
Yeah, Nemiga goes straight in for the train, picking that one up. We see the Lena ban, Snapfire actually an early ban out here from Nemiga, Timbersaw as well as the Brood being taken out from One Move. So why Snapfire in the first phase, do you think?
That's an interesting one for me. One Move has been pretty good with the Snapfire, though. I don't know if you remember, was it 2 days ago that we casted One Move when they beat Darkside? No, it was at the start of this week. So they used the Snapfire twice, and they won both games against Darkside. And it was picked in the first phase, so I think it was a big part of their lineup. So I think it's just get the comfort away from One Move. I like that One Move isn't the one banning out the Lena, because Nemiga has throughout this tournament shown that they can't really play the hero. They've lost every single game with it. So on the other side, One Move, I think this is a hero that would benefit them quite a lot. So I think both of the teams actually got rid of the best possible heroes, and it's normal to happen at the end of the DPC because we had so much time and so many games to analyze the teams, or for the teams to analyze their opponents. And Nemiga, for me, I agree wholeheartedly with this, even though I personally forgot about the Snapfire. When we look back on the 24th of January, it was probably the most important hero for One Move.
Yeah, and we can see that One Move, they do want to pick up this Rubik here. Looking through what is still there. The Ricky is still available if either team want to be picking it up. Two variant success in the Eastern European region. I think teams... The Tusk comes out for One Move, so just straight up Aincrowd Tusk, I guess?
Yeah, probably. It's also a deny pick from Malrine, and we constantly talked about it. Against the Treant, you want either overwhelming tower push or the ability to dive. And Treant, considering that he has low armor, the Tusk can just rip him apart, right? And if he has more points in the living armor, well, you still have the normal spells from the Tusk to get on top of him, and he cannot go through the shards, even in the trees. So, there's multiple reasons why this hero is good here.
Yeah, and coming through Nemiga, they've got this next pick. I wonder what they want to be going for so early on.
Radiant team ban.
It's going to be the Primal Beast. So,
team ban.
Primal Beast, I guess Crystal Maiden gets banned out here. But potentially looking at the Primal Beast up against the Tusk in the mid lane, it is primarily, I think, where we've seen the Primal Beast coming out in the Eastern European region. You're playing that mid lane, being a really big powerhouse, getting online early on, and then looking for some good rotations once the ultimate's up as well. Just being able to dive in and get the kills. I think we've seen a couple of off-lane primals as well, so it might not be locked in for that mid lane, but I think mid lane is where we've seen the majority of our Primal Beasts.
For Nemiga, I think for them, yes. I don't know if overall we've mostly seen Primal Beasts in the mid lane, but for Nemiga, it was Malrine that has been playing it. The game that they won against Team Spirit on Nemiga, they played a mid lane Primal Beast. So Malrine probably knows what he's doing, and considering that he's going to be playing against the Tusk in the lane, it does make sense. You give him something that he himself says he's comfortable on, because he knows the Tusk in and out. We've seen it in the previous tournaments. So now he says, give me the Primal Beast. And then I think it should work out quite well, especially because, the hero gets an early BKB, and Tusk in the early stages of the game is most reliant on his magical damage.
Yeah. Just looking through the Nature's Prophet, again, the Nature's Prophet, one of those heroes that does seem to be getting, I can't even say a lot of usage, because we do see the bans coming out, but when it does come out, again, I'm not sure what the actual win rate is for the Nature's Prophet actually, and how effective it's been being picked up in this region, because
Dire team
I'm
ban.
pretty sure we've
is
seen
like
a good few
Rosvini.
of them, and not all, obviously not all of them are going to work out, but the Nature's Prophet, uh, to me, in my mind, for some reason, it sticks out as being more unsuccessful than winning matches.
Yes, it has a really bad win rate, around 30%.
10
And
seconds remaining.
that is weird, because every time I see it, I feel like the hero
5
is
seconds
actually
remaining.
making an impact in the game.
Yeah.
Though, when the hero is being banned out quite a lot, then in the games that it wasn't, it's kind of being, you're force picking it because you might not know what else to get. You're like, this hero is strong, even though
Radiant
he's not
team
great at the
banned.
game, and then you lose it. But overall, the hero is very powerful. And in the Eastern European region, people have been using him quite well. Though, whenever I see it, what I see as a counter, is a hero that just got banned out, and that's the clockwork. The lanes are constantly being pushed to your side, but then you
10
have this
seconds
hero
remaining.
that allows you to start the fight even when you're not in a great position.
5
So
seconds
I think
remaining.
the success of the clockwork has also been the downfall of the Nature's Prophet as well.
Yeah, and so looking through here, Nemiga, what have they actually been playing? And so, I mean, Terrorblades, Bloodseekers, they did go for the
Dire
Ricky
team
twice
ban.
against Darkseid. And again, I'm surprised that unless for some reason I can't see it, which, Ricky Hero, that does happen. But yeah, I'm surprised that the Ricky hasn't been banned out, getting through nearly the second phase here without being removed from the draft.
If Nemiga gets a Riki, they're gonna be
10
very
seconds
sad
remaining.
between like minute 8 and 15.
Hmm.
Because their two
5
heroes, their
seconds
two
remaining.
supports aren't going to be doing anything. So that's I think the reason why they
Dire
might
team
not want
pick.
it. On the side of one
Radiant
move, I wouldn't
team
mind
pick.
seeing a Ricky at all. I
And
think
the
that
Death
would
Prophet.
be
How did I
really
forget
cool.
about the Death Prophet? Damn.
Well, I mean, the hero has been very successful, and even when not successful, it's so strong, right?
Mhm.
For me, it's not Delina. For me, it's the Death Prophet currently in the meta, because the hero just doesn't die. You heal like 600
seconds
HP, level
remaining.
4 Spirit Siphon. You get 3 of them out, let's say. Let's not
5
say 4.
seconds
How are you going to
remaining.
kill that hero in the early mid game? The answer is you don't. So it has been quite successful overall, and I mean,
Radiant
no surprise
team
there.
pick.
Plus, it is a tower pushing hero.
Yeah, the Beastmaster comes out on the side of Nemiga. A good counter out in terms of the push potential for the Death Prophet. The Beastmaster can do that on another lane, put pressure onto that tier 2, try and drag heroes to his lane, to his towers, and stop him from being
Dire
so
team
aggressive
pick.
early on. But they're going to go for the techies.
Yep.
I like this. And I would... So it's going to be I assume the techies and the Beastmaster in the off lane.
Yes.
I maybe would have liked to see something with a stun on the off lane, but again, that push potential for the Beastmaster,
10
really
seconds
important for
remaining.
teams at the minute. Not surprised to see he's being picked up so often.
5
Last time
seconds
when
remaining.
Nemiga played against Team Spirit, they played techies with the Broodmother. They lost that game, but I think it's fine. You want to have the Primal Beast and something that does a lot of burst damage, something that is gonna be able to kill people. Primal Beast usually brings heroes to like 30% HP really fast, and
Yeah.
then they just run away. Techies allows you to go over that, so I like it. Plus, it is again one of the most popular position 4s here in the Eastern European region. Everyone utilizes it quite well. Plus, you need a lot of burst damage to kill the Death Prophet. We talked about her ability to survive, but if she instantly blows up, there is no chance to heal up.
Yeah, and Hellscream, he's actually going to step up now to the highest pick techies, picking up 5. Antar's close with 4 there as well. But it is, I mean, looking at it, as fun as the hero is, it's still only got a 30% win rate in the Eastern European region. So that's not a massive
Radiant team ban.
confidence boost here. As one move, they're going to go for the Ember Spirit coming out. Good mobility. I mean, ooh, actually, so it isn't going to be the Tusk mid.
Nope. It's not. And Ember is actually quite nice against the Primal Beast because when he starts stomping the ground,
10 seconds
you use the
remaining.
chains and you just move away. And you also have the Flame Guard, you have the
5
Sleight of Fist.
seconds remaining.
Multiple spells to prevent you from taking overwhelming amount of damage early on, which is something that the Tusk, you have a snowball, you can push away with the shards, but it is not that reliable. The Ember Spirit, it's much easier for him. And Ember Spirit likes playing against melee heroes. It's really not easy dealing with the Flame Guard when that's the case. Neither can you ever dodge the Sleight of Fist. So I like it. Plus, when you look at Nemiga, their ability to catch the Ember is not there. If they do get one stun on him, they can kill him. But getting that first stun is going to be a problem.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking back to with the techies being there, the tiny techies combo we saw that really dealt with the Ember Spirit, but at this point it would mean potentially putting I suppose either the Primal Beast in the one or if you do draft that tiny, putting the tiny in the one. Maybe going for that quick blink and looking for rotations off, but that's really not what you want in the current meta for your position 1.
Yeah. Also, one big thing is now that it's a Tusk 4, it's going to be a Tusk laning against the Treant with a range hero. Treant can never get close. You get close, tag team gets used, and you get smacked down with your 1 armor. Especially, level 1 when you have this Leech Seed and you feel invincible. It doesn't work that way against the Tusk. So, I'm liking this from one move. I think they have everything they need. They also have a Roar saved with the Tusk. Now he gets a Blink. That's going to be his one job in the later portions of the game. So yeah, their lineup is looking quite strong. Nemiga Gaming, they're going to be needing to snowball on the back of this Primal Beast. And I think that's the reason why one move got the Ember, to make sure that the Primal Beast doesn't have an overwhelming time in the mid lane.
Yeah. What are you looking at here? I know we've still got a couple of bans left, but one move. So they've got the Death Prophet Tusk off lane. It's going to be quite nice. Again, the push potential coming out. Are you looking for one move to pick up a hero here in that position 1 that just it comes in and it comes out swinging once it's got a decent amount of farm? Like I suppose the Terrorblade has been the most popular one, but we've seen a couple of Medusas sneaking in, a Luna sneaking in from Hellraisers there as well. Is Slark still available?
You wouldn't want to play it against the Beastmaster. First of all, he sees you. It's not like you can devoid every single hawk, but also the boars can be a problem for you in the lane. I mean, looking at one move, they usually do well with the ranged cores, so I would expect maybe something like a Terrorblade. It is risky against the techies, you can be blown up, but I think it actually would fit their lineup quite nicely. But yeah, no such luck, because it's going to be Nemiga that takes it.
Yeah, Nemiga decide that, they see the power of this hero and they're just like, mine. I mean, how well does that do up against especially because, I mean, technically with the Metamorphosis, you can get that ranged, but you're going to be coming up against the Tusk, the Death Prophet, and the majority of that time in the lane, you are going to be in that melee form. How well is this going to go once those Ice Shards, the snowballs start flying in?
Pretty good, pretty good. You have high armor. Later on down the line, your illusions help with the exorcism. That is a good hero for one move. Yeah, as I mentioned, they like the ranged heroes, but the problem is the Primal Beast. That is what can be a problem for the sniper. But I guess you do get the Hurricane Pike, you do get the Shard always, so the hero does make sense. Yeah, this last pick from one move is pretty good though. Though I like the Terrorblade as well. The Terrorblade, if he gets on top of the sniper in this game, you're absolutely demolished, right? It's gonna be, this is basically gonna be if Nemiga can get on top of one move. If one move are poking, and then finishing the fight when they see it's time to strike, then they're going to be doing better. But if Nemiga get that right jump, using the vision of the Beastmaster, then they're going to have a nice time in this game.
Okay, so coming into this, both teams, again, looking to survive that relegation battle that's coming through. Who do you prefer, team-wise in this first lineup? Who are you looking at thinking they have the better draft, they have the potential here in this first match to take it away?
Oh, it's hard to say. Nemiga's draft seems pretty solid to me. The problem I have with it is that Nemiga, this is not a Nemiga draft, not a one we're gonna run you over. And I feel like in extended games, one move should have the advantage. So I'm gonna go for them.
Okay. Well, guys, we are going to take a quick word from our sponsors coming up here before we get into game number 1. Here it is.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
So, to start the day off, we are going to be getting into one move versus Nemiga, and again, it's for all the marbles potential here. One move they've played already. They've played themselves 6 series. We see that they're 1-5. Nemiga, they are 0-5 with a chance to stay up here. And either team taking this victory, Nemiga then going on to beat on to Na'Vi, could force out some tiebreakers, could even just survive through that. But one move, they are in, they have this confidence boost at the minute. They are looking to be taking this lead and get themselves to that second win in the DPC. Nemiga, they need this first win to make to be in with a chance of surviving.
It's there's a lot on the line here, and I like what we have here for ourselves in the game. I really like the way that the drafts were made. As I mentioned, I think this Nemiga draft, man, it has so much potential. I just don't know if it's gonna work out, because there are some little things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
That can just completely shut you off, like the Primal Beast not having enough levels, like his BKB being delayed. And I think One Move know that, and they're probably gonna try to exploit it, because naturally in the tournament, One Move have done really well in extended games where Munkushi could get in a farm. Right, he knew his timings perfectly, and even though Kiritich, nothing to take away from him, I think there are different parts of the game that he's better at, and that his team plays better at than One Move, and I just don't think their draft falls in line with that. So I'm not sure about it, but I think both drafts can work, and I'm looking forward to seeing how well Malrine will be able to utilize the Primal Beast with the vision given to him by the Beastmaster.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to contest here, because there is going to be the split coming through. You can see that Gilgit's moving into the river, but Kiritich, he just stands his ground, so it looks like there's going to be no contest. The double wards as well here on that, just on the high ground to the river, spotting up for both teams, so they knew what was going on, and you can see that everybody moved themselves away safe. Gilgit now just moving through the jungle to catch up with the Death Prophet as well, so it's actually going to be the Tusk 5 and the Rubik 4, and not the other way around. So 2 ranged heroes here in the off lane for One Move, and meanwhile mid lane, you can see the Ironcrad coming up against Malrine. So you were talking about in the draft how Ember Spirit should have a better time. What can Malrine do in this lane to try and get above and try and get one over onto Ironcrad?
You know, I wouldn't necessarily say that the Ember is gonna have like a massively better time. It's just that the Primal Beast, the way that he would bully some of the other heroes, he cannot bully the Ember that way. So I think Malrine will be fine. The only thing that is weird to me is that he didn't start with the Uproar. It kind of makes sense to have the added armor damage early on in the lane. That's something that we see from time to time. But yeah, it's not really gonna be an overwhelming win for either of them.
Hellscream just gonna go for the pull through, but I think I should go on to Vizia. Vizia, the Ice Shard's come through. There's gonna be the sticky bomb, but Vizia gonna be in a lot of trouble. Munkushi looking to run him down, but Vizia will be able to get out of range here, and there was no other shrapnels to drop. Sniper using all of those charges, so Vizia at least gets himself behind that tier 1. Pretty darn safe.
Okay, they saved the creeps on Nemiga, so they're gonna be fine. Nice attempt there, but overall not gonna be resulting in a kill. I think if the Tusk maybe moved around those shards a little bit, got the blocks off, maybe they could have gotten a kill, but a level 1 sniper is just not that powerful.
Yeah, it is the slow. I mean, Techies is going to be taking a lot of damage, as we can see coming through bottom lane, though. There's going to be even more being thrown out. Do they have the damage to take down anyone here? It looks like Gillian and Afterlife just getting harassed, and you can see that Death Prophet wants to get aggressive, going for the Crypt Swarm over the Spirit Siphon, so looking to do that first damage out to the Terrorblade as he comes forward to farm.
It does make sense for sure, considering that you are up against the Terrorblade.
Top lane, Ice Shards do fly through, and you can see the Munkushi, now level 2, was able to get some headshots off, get the kill there onto the Techie, so Techie's giving up that first blood. Mid lane, the runes are out, and it looks like Malrine's moving over, picked his up, but Ironcrad, does he want to go here? Yeah, he's got his bottle out now, he's going to be able to fill up and go for his, and just even trades in the mid lane that you expect when these runes are coming up.
Yep. Actually, the Primal Beast is crushing the Ember in terms of CS, man. This is unexpected, especially without the Uproar. Yeah, Primal Beast does have better damage, but I mean, Ironcrad, he asked for the Ember and he gets destroyed this much. This is a big advantage. It's not even close.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of it is just the Malrine's even going to get to steal off the bounce here in there as well with the onslaught charge in. Hellscream. Coming up, just trying to get this pull off. Pantomime chasing him down now as well. Doesn't have the mana for the ice shards. So it looks like Hellscream will be able to escape with the creeps. Pull those through into the lane. You'll try and even this lane out a little bit more.
See, I like what's happening in the top lane for one move. You know, the Tusk and the Sniper, it's a duo not to be underestimated. I thought they wanted to put more emphasis on making sure that the Death Prophet has a good time, but with the maxing out of the Crypt Swarm and just spamming out that one and the Fade Bolt, you can make sure that that you're getting a lot of CS and that it's hard for the Terrorblade to come close. So I guess they went for a let's farm on the bottom lane, not be aggressive type of lane, and let's try to kill people on the top lane. And for now, it's working out quite well for one move. Nemiga, they're only doing well really in the mid lane.
Yeah, bottom lane though, there's going to be some aggression coming out, the chase down, and in the river as well. You see Marine and Enkrad just getting right on top of each other. Level 4 onto the Ember Spirit, level 5 onto Marine. In terms of last, it's 27-5 here for that Primal Beast.
He's absolutely crushing it. Enkrad is going for a Sleight of Fist Chains build without a single point in the Flame Guard. With this kind of build, it's very hard to farm. So Enkrad definitely wants to fight.
Yeah, Marine being able to get the jump on top with a quick onslaught coming out. And Enkrad, like you say, you got the Searing Chain off, but, you know, okay, Munkushi gets a kill onto Bazir in the top lane again, but yeah, Marine just being able to charge down like that, even through the Searing Chains coming out and slowing him down, doing so much damage over to the Ember Spirit. Meanwhile, again, in this top lane, it's going to be a second death over on the side of Nemiga, and Sniper Munkushi here having a really good time.
I'm really expecting Munkushi to make his presence known on the map early on with this kind of a start. He has so much CS, so many denies, and he's getting a lot of kills. So he can definitely be more aggressive in the early stages of the game. So I'm kind of curious to see how he will do it. Will he defend towers? Will he maybe come to push a tower to help his Death Prophet? Or maybe, you know, TP into a dive from the Primal Beast. But I think with this kind of a start, it's pretty safe to say that Munkushi will be finding a way to have impact in the early stages of the mid game.
Yeah, and again, the mid lane, there's going to be the Searing Chains coming through that trample, but Enkrad, he's just being forced away from the creeps. So Marine, able to pick up some denies, you know, able to get a little bit of a level advantage here. One level, about a half a level above. Back to the top lane. We can see that the axe is flying through as well. Vazia, he's just trying to do his best to try and farm from range, because if he does get caught out, the Tusk does have that point into, so going for a 1-1-1 build at level 3 here, Tusk into the Ice Shard Snowball as well as the tag team, and that is with the Sniper coming through as well, with the Shrapnel potentially deadly, the amount of slow being offered.
He's well, has only 1 point in Shrapnel, but you know, Munkushi is again gonna be going on Vazia, just being super annoying.
You see that Enkrad there, he picks up that Arcane Rune. No rotation over to stop him. It looks like that Marine in the mid lane just too busy looking for this farm, looking for the advantage over the Ember Spirit, and Ember Spirit, he, again, being forced away. He is level 6 now, so if he needs to, he's got those remnants to jump away from any danger coming out. But you can see that Marine, even the Sleight of Fist being used here, Marine just might look for a rotation early. And top lane, again, Bazzi just continues to farm. He's looking pretty low, though, on terms of net worth. You know, he's not having a great time up here, this Beastmaster.
He's definitely not. You want to get the Helm of the Dominator as fast as possible. At that point, the sniper might leave his lane. But considering that you have delayed it so much, you have delayed the Helm of the Iron Will so much that Vazia cannot stand his ground, puts one move in such a dominant position in the top lane. So they're not going to be having to leave this one until Malrine starts making moves.
Yeah, Hellscream at least building stacks. So Vazia, if he wants to come in with the 3 points into the axes of the Pulverize onto Einkrad, but no real follow-up there. Marine, Sleight of Fist being used, and Marine, yeah, doesn't want to go in for that onslaught. Hellscream is nearby if the Techies wants to jump, but it looks like Einkrad, it probably would have needed to be by the end of the Pulverize to get the Blast of Him, get the silence off onto the Ember Spirit, and be able to lock him down for that kill. So Einkrad just able to move himself away there, and yeah, Vazia just coming in with the 3 points into the axes, starting to do these stacks in the jungle.
Yeah, one thing that they have focused on, seeing that the lane is gonna go badly, was stacking. So the Beastmaster can deal with those quite nicely. And Hellscream, he got out by the skin of his teeth there. So Pantomime wanted to stop the jump from Techies, but at some point in the Blast Off, it cannot be stopped. So even with the stun coming through, Hellscream does get himself out.
Well, it looks like Marine's just using the onslaught to get to that. It doesn't matter. It was the room bottom.
Yeah, unlucky
Yeah,
for Malrine.
Aincrad, yeah, he gets himself a regen room. That's going to be really nice, especially if he gets gone on, wants to make a jump here. So, Vazia just continuing to farm up. Phantom, though, is going to go for a wrap in the mid lane. Do they want to try and go Gilga? Throws out that telekinesis. There's going to be the snowball instant connecting Malrine. The blast off does come through. And does Malrine want to be coming back into this? Because Hellscream will go down. The TP coming in from the train, just not in time.
Yeah, the thing about that one is that it is the tag team was going when he jumped in, and it doesn't matter that the Tusky doesn't have any spells to use because he's silenced, because the tag team is still going through and the techies cannot move away. No points in the reactive taser just yet, which I would have expected to come out once. Usually we see, you know, 1 point in blast off. It really isn't that much of a difference in damage.
Yeah, I suppose with the amount of control coming out from the Primal Beast, you know, maybe he's thinking he wants that to burst damage a little bit more than the extra control coming out. Speaking of control, do they want to try and control Kiritich's farm? It looks like they do. Again, you can see the Death Prophet as well as the Rubik just stepping up here and just putting the pressure on. I mean, he's still having an all-right time, but it's not going as well as the sniper here for Kiritich in the safe lane.
And the problem is that Malrine, who had such a great time in the mid lane, he even got some jungle creeps during that time. He is still not doing that great in terms of net worth.
Yeah, and you can see mid lane, the Blastoff comes in. It comes in a little bit early though, so there's going to be the 3-hero rotation into this mid lane. Malrine, did you want to try and go? Gilga gets a kill onto Hellscream, and now the snowball coming out, but it's just to get Pantomime away from Malrine. Looking like he's still a big tanky boy here, and the amount of damage with that 4 points into the trample can still do a lot of damage if you get up close.
Okay, so Nemiga, once they get this Helm of the Dominator, they need to make something happen. All parts of their lineup have been slowed down quite heavily. And okay, at least Malrine gets the kill. Because Malrine needs to be getting a lot of kills on the map, and you need to force down the lane with the Beastmaster. So once that time does come, even though it's delayed, you need to be very, very aggressive.
Malrine, he's just going to go for the TP back to base. He's lost a lot of life there. Didn't get himself the rune either. He tried to get himself in with the onslaught. And in fact, if he got the onslaught into Aincrad, could have done a lot of damage. But Gilga was there for that telekinesis to stop him before he gets the onslaught connection onto the pulverize. And all of a sudden, Malrine, it turns on his head. He needs to back himself away.
What I'm afraid for Nemiga is that the Death Prophet is getting so much in terms of items. He's gonna have a Guardian Greaves relatively early on in this game, and then how do you kill him, really? It's gonna be a lot of armor being given to him. He's gonna be able to remove the silence, so the Spirit Siphons will come through. This is dangerous to me, because for Nemiga's lineup to work, you need to be able to burst down the Death Prophet, and you're just allowing everything to go perfectly well for one move. And this is what I was talking about. One move they love when the game gets slowed down, and they're pretty good at doing it.
Yeah, and again, Munkushi just in the jungle looking for his farm, going towards that Maelstrom. As Kiritich, he's in there as well. You know, he's looking to, with the illusions, get a little bit of catch-up going. Going towards that Dragon Lance as well, so that's going to offer a little bit more stats protection coming out as well. Mid lane though, they're going to be able to get a kill onto Gilga. Malrine just being able to dive in there. Does have that 1 point into the uproar now, but 4 points into onslaught, trample, just doing so much damage to this Rubik.
And Hellscream on top is looking very much dead.
Yeah.
Pantomime, he was surrounded by some mines there. But the idea here was to kind of find the right timing when Vazia is going to be coming in, and then you kill him with his Helm of the Dominator. Delay that timing even further. But in the end, they only find the techies. So one move are not going to be extremely happy with the thing they've gained from that smoke.
Yeah, and mid lane. Does Malrine actually want to go? He does. He's going to be doing a lot of damage over. He gets Gilga off. The trample comes through. No way to interrupt this. And it's even going to be Aincrad taking a lot of damage from the extra pulverized damage that does come through in that AoE. But, I mean, again, Malrine, he gets the kill onto Gilga. Aincrad's still surviving here. 0-0 and 3. But they need a little bit more. Do they want to try and force something out of this? You can see that Hellscream, he was looking to get that blast off coming through. Ice Shards onto Malrine. But again, he's got himself nearly 2k health here at level 11. Really hard to take this hero down.
Yeah, maybe even impossible. So overall, it's looking good for Nemiga right now. Actually, it's looking good for Malrine, and he's even gonna find Munkushi. You're not getting away from this.
No, the trample comes out, and Munkushi, he's gonna be put away.
Yeah, easily. easily put away. The big thing is that Nemiga, they're getting all of the kills onto the hero that they need, and now they've slowed down Munkushi, which is very important. He is going for a Maelstrom build for more farm and of course to deal with the units, but you need to slow him down. You need to make sure that he cannot hit this timing and say, okay, let's go.
Mid lane, the silence does come out. 3 heroes, 4 heroes being here from the side of one move, and they're going to go with the exorcism as well, so Mallory are going to be forced away from this tower, but they do get the jump onto Hellscream now as well. Hellscream trying to do what he can with the mines, but there's going to be a lot of damage coming through. Aincrad, Mallory wants to come in. Who's he going to try and go for the pulverize? It's going to be onto the Death Prophet, immediately cancelled, but going to be able to turn it around. 4 heroes, they do the damage. Spirit Siphon coming out now as well. They get this kill onto the Terrorblade. Really good cleanup there from one move.
Yeah, that's without him even using the mech, without using the magic wand, thinking you can go for the Death Prophet that has had such a great time, and one move, they just come over and they force Nemiga into the fight that they can't take. A big fight for Nemiga without the BKB on the Primal Beast is absolutely impossible, and they get forced into it just because they wanted to defend the tower. Beautifully done by one move. They won't get the tower, but if they make a couple of more moves like this, it's gonna be detrimental for Nemiga. And next time, even harder to kill the Death Prophet, because the Guardian Greaves are going to be delivered at this time.
Yeah, no, completely looking to finish those off now. Yeah, Guardian Greaves are up in the first 15 minutes of the game here for the Death Prophet. The one thing is, you know, Nemiga, they do have that Treant on their side, so they are going to be able to heal up these towers. He's got himself 4 points into the living armor, so really looking for that protection on his teammates and his buildings.
For sure. The physical damage from one move is actually quite high, especially because of the tag team. So you don't want your heroes being blown up just by the enemies completely. Plus, you don't have super high armor heroes, right? Terrorblade is, but the rest of the pack, they have some armor, but not really a billion of it, or enough to survive the side of one move. So with the living armor, it's definitely gonna help.
Yeah, Hellscream's looking to hunt out. He was smoked up. Smoke is going to break it. Pantomime. Do they get the vision? Because the Observer Ward, Hellscream's going to be able to play around this. Shouldn't be caught out unless his smoke comes through. Now they're going to get the catch. Hellscream is in the tree. Smoke breaks Gilga. He knows something's up, but they're going to be able to get the dive here onto the Beastmaster. And you can see that Gilga with the Stone Onslaught, they're going to be able to close this gap onto the Beastmaster. And they've got the cleanup as well. Walrus Punch. And it looks like they might just be giving the kill over to Aincrad.
Yeah, with the DD on the Ember Spirit, 4 points in the Sleight of Fist, it's just an overwhelming amount of damage. They just never wanted to commit, because you commit with the Ember, he's gonna get roared, and there is a chance that the Beastmaster just runs away with the bonus movement speed. But you just approach it slowly. You know that is a point where a fight could turn the other way, and they're also gonna find the bonus, it seems.
Yeah, Hellscream, he's not going to be having a good time, even with the wards being there. Couldn't evade the Tusk. You know, those Ice Shards scouted him out, even when he got himself down to the low ground. So they do get a really nice pickup or two here in the top part of the jungle here, one move.
And they will take the ward down. That is the most important thing. That was the ward that Nemiga were gonna use so that the sniper cannot farm everything, right? Okay, if he comes here, we kill him. But if he's fighting in the farming in the big jungle, then we're gonna kill him.
Yeah, and you can see that on screen the EGB odds do put one move as the favorites here. Nemiga not too far away, but yeah, EGB for the most part think that one move, with the way this game is going so far, they have it in the bag. Or at least the favorites to close this one out.
Yeah, they definitely are. Currently, there is going to be a BKB coming out from Malrine, but because of that one death and the fight around the mid lane, it is a problem. But still, you know, Nemiga, they have a Terrorblade. We talked about it. Later portions of the game, the ability to get on top of the sniper, the ability to start off the fight in the right way for Nemiga is still going to be allowing them to get to a point where they can win a fight. So this game is not out of reach, even though currently one move are doing a lot better.
Yeah, that is true. And you can see that Aincrad's all 3 cores for the start of one move were at the top. You can see the Beastmaster's caught up Primal Beast. He's leapfrogged over the opposite mid laner here on that Ember Spirit. The Ember Spirit, though, it does look like he's roaming around with his supports, at least looking to get some pickoffs, you know, find some heroes out. So he isn't focusing completely on this farm just yet. And Kiritic in the triangle, how is he doing here in terms of items? Got himself the Asher. The Dragonlance comes out, wants to be going towards that quick Manta as well. Oh, the smoke under the ward. One move, no, this is happening.
That's a beautiful ward placed by one move, not one that you find easily. Let's see now. Do they want to fight? They want to get out. Okay, they want to get out.
Yeah, the Tusk might be the sacrificial lamb, but because they know the gank's happening, you can see that they're grouping up. You know, Sniper moving towards the bottom lane, and just making sure that they can't get team wiped if they get caught out, as Malrine does take down that tier 1 tower in the mid lane. They might just move it to rush. Yeah.
Yeah, they want to force out the fight where one move are running into them, where Nemiga actually have the control of the area, plus they have the BKB on the primal beast. This is their timing. They know it perfectly, and the Aegis will only allow them to push the advantage even further, or more likely in their sense here, just hold an area more aggressively than they otherwise could, giving you like 2 or 3 more camps to farm.
Yeah, and one move, they know they're at a disadvantage being 4 to 5. They just let this Aegis go, don't even contest into it, while they've got 4 heroes on the bottom lane, trying to push in onto this tier 1 tower. Even through, if the potential living armor comes out, you know, they're holding the exorcism as well on the death block. They just want to take this one in the old-fashioned way with right clicks, and then they still have the exorcism if they want to go into a fight, maybe take another objective here. But yeah, Roshan being down does give Nemiga a little bit of breathing room to get back into this game.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And one move, we're forced into a glyph, right? So the tier 2, Nemiga is going to be looking to take that one. Their lineup is very good at holding an area. That's why one move want to counter it with speed. And once they get the first hero, the side of Nemiga, and there it is, have to bail a little bit. You don't want to be fighting 4 versus 5.
No, but it looks like they actually want to dive in a little bit further now as well. Ankrad's going to be able to get himself in with the Remnant on top of the Primal Beast. And Malrine, can he get himself away from this one? Assassinate coming through as well. Connects onto the Primal Beast, but it looks like the Ice Shards do want to carry on fighting. Hellscream, he's going to be taken down by Afterlife. And even with these wards out here, you know, it looks like they're just going to be happy with this. They don't want to try and chase for more one move.
Very nice smoke, because you have pushed out your enemies out of the big jungle. You've taken away those extra camps that they would like to farm with the Aegis. And now, once you push out the top lane, if Nemiga try to go super aggressively, you have time to prepare either for a tower defense or for a push somewhere else.
Yeah, and
Radiant's middle tower is under
this
attack.
mid lane, I mean, Malrine's going to be here to defend it. He's going to be the only one with 3 heroes around. But on the top lane, it looks like Ankrad, he's going to be able to get the dive away. The Roar was available. The tree was there as well. Could have thrown out the Overgrowth if he wanted to. But now there's going to be a re-engage coming out, and Tree's going to be taking a whole load of damage.
Right now, it's one move. It's just delay, delay, delay. We want this Aegis to expire, and it doesn't matter if we just kill one support. That is the thing. Nemiga, then they can't hold areas as well as they need. But maybe one move went a little bit too far.
Yeah, there's going to be a jump in here from the techies. The mines go down as well, but now the Death Prophet going to have that heal coming through from the Spirit Siphon. Not going to be enough to keep him alive. The chase down as well. They get the kill onto Phantom as well as Afterlife, and Malrine with the double kill. So impactful in this game so far, the Primal Beast.
Yeah, Malrine is doing an awesome job. Other than that one death that he was forced into, it wasn't really that big of a mistake. He has been playing the game well. He did well in the mid lane. He farmed a lot, and he got a lot of solo kills, which is very important. And this is why this game is still on. Even though one move are 4k gold ahead, if it was the Terrorblade having the extra gold and not the Primal Beast, it wouldn't be so good. Kiritich! What is he doing?
He just gets cleaned up. And now they're going to be able to step up on top of the... now, does he have the BKB? He doesn't. Not even anywhere close. And Ironcrad, grouping up with the rest of the team, takes down the Terrorblade. Hellscream just has to leg it. He needs to get out of there yesterday.
Why did he stay? He was all alone. No one was there. Thinking that anyone is going to be afraid of his Aegis, one move they have shown that they want to protect this top tier 2. And they've done so over and over again. And then he just walks to the tower all on his own without any single hero one move showing on the map.
Yeah, and it's not like he's hit a power peak either, because he has a Yasha. He has a Dragonlance, and he has an Ogreax. You know, he doesn't have the full completed Manta style, nor a BKB. He's not rocking the Skadi or the Daedalus for massive amounts of stats and damage. He's just, at the minute, he's still needing to farm up at least, I'd say, 2 more big items before he should be able to... I mean, hanging around solo like that is a big no-no anyway, but even trying to get involved in the team... Yeah. Like, the Aegis bought him the space that he had that protection if he gets caught out farming. The rest of the team could respond and help him out. Not that he goes up and he gets super confident trying to push down a tier 2.
Yeah, and he is the lowest in terms of net worth out of all the cores.
Yeah.
Kiritich just hasn't been having the game here. Usually it's fine, Terrorblade can catch up, but you cannot die. Every single time you die, especially in a split push without zero committal coming out from one move, you could just as well be losing the game for your team. That's a big advantage. It was just given to one move. They didn't do anything to force it out. He just came to their tower.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe a bit of miscommunication, but one move just ripped through him so quickly that there was no way they could respond to it.
There was it was funny how fast he died. Even with all the armor that you have, even with the living armor on you, the damage output of one move, it's a mix of magical and physical damage, and an overwhelming amount on both of them, especially if they can commit. So the Terrorblade had nothing to do there, but you know, moving on, at least it's still not over. Malrine is still having a nice time. He has a blink dagger, so the ability to start fights even in different areas of the map is now a possibility for Nemiga.
Yeah, Nemiga are smoked up, so let's see where they want to go with this. And, I mean, Mallory's going to be leading the charge. Did they actually get the scan off? They know someone might be here, but there was the Rubik in the trees, so if the jump came through, I mean, Primal Beast would have probably used the BKB anyway, but if the jump came through, there could have been a telekinesis, stops the pulverize coming out from the Primal Beast, and one move might have been able to turn around onto this, but they're going to be going for a smoke of their own, heading towards Vazia. Vazia, are their spidey senses tingling? Does he want to get himself out of here, Vazia? He needs to run himself away. The bullwhip comes out for that extra speed. Ankrad, they might have seen him. The remnant's going to fly through now as well. Vazia, slide of fist, another remnant. Did he want to try and go? Searing Chains, it doesn't connect. And now Vazia, well, it's still going to be telekinesis, the snowball, and the gank potential coming out. Ankrad secures the kill onto the Beastmaster.
Very nicely done by Vazia that he even read that move. In the end, he gets caught because Munkushi showed himself in the mid lane. Sometimes you just stay because of that, and he read that something was wrong. His hawk went over the big jungle, and Munkushi was positioning more towards the big jungle, so he understood that there is a chance that the enemies are somewhere on the side. In the end, it doesn't really save his life.
No, and you can see the Munkushi as well. He wants to be going towards that full Melania. Building up into this, the mid lane, so bad, he needs to be careful. Needs to back himself away. The telekinesis into the assassinate, but he does have that mech, so he's going to be able to instantly pop it and get that heal off.
And with the BKB on the sniper, he feels like he can survive the Primal Beast now. That's why one move are going a little bit more aggressively.
Ooh, can he though? The jump's going to be coming in. They have a lot of damage. They take down Munkushi. That's a really nice blast off to start things off into the pulverize. Chase off into it. The roar comes out now onto the Tusk. The damage, they're going to be able to clean up onto the Tuskar now as well.
Bad read coming out from Munkushi, something that doesn't happen way too often, especially in these later portions of the game when he hits his timing. But that was a bad read. They definitely have the burst potential to kill him off. Maybe they can't kill the Death Prophet with the Guardian Greaves and the BKB, but just the BKB as your defensive item, well, we saw how that went.
Yeah, maybe if he did get that BKB off before the blast off comes in, you know, the quick fingers. But the time that he had to react, Hellscream was already in the air from out of the fog of war. No way, you know, to deal with that. And immediately, as soon as that lands, he gets jumped on, the blink comes out, and the pulverize there as well. He had the damage to take him down and did it so well.
Yeah, beautifully done coming out from Nemiga. One move definitely weren't expecting that one. And the thing is, you can do it again. Even if he comes over to your tower once again, you can kill him one more time. The Munkushi probably now he's gonna have his finger ready on the BKB a little bit better, not allowing that to happen. If he pops the BKB there mid jump of the techies, you might just get 2 kills without losing any HP.
Yeah, because no big ultimates got popped there. The Exorcism was still available. Ankrad's still be able to fly around with the Remnant. So if he does get that BKB off, maybe they do. They turn it around, they take a tower, they take a couple of kills. But for now, it looks like this time Nemiga going to be given up without the pulverize being there for the next 13 seconds or so. They're just going to give up this mid tower.
Ankrad, very good positioning on the top lane. He has the BKB. Yeah, they're not going to be going for it. So what they wanted to do is get him down, but if he was more positioned towards the jungle, but he was always a little bit towards the end of the map, and you know that's a little bit too deep, even with all the great vision that you have.
Yeah, and he is going to be going towards what looks like a Lincoln Sphere here on the Ember Spirit. That means that, you know, locking him down is going to be so much harder to roar. He needs something to break that, and there's not really a whole lot of single target spells on the side of Nemiga to go through that Lincoln Sphere.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, if you pop the BKB, you're not getting roared. That's it.
Yeah, and now they're going to be able to dive. Soba, though, he wants to be coming out with the overgrowth. If they get the kill, they're going to be able to take him down. Hellscream jumps in onto 3 heroes with BKB this time.
Kushi in a great position.
The Roar comes through, but he's just going to sit on this higher ground once that Roar wears off and start plinking down at heroes coming through. A real sniper like Kiritich being chased away as well. Has to pop his BKB to go for the run. The Sunder comes out onto Afterlife, but Afterlife, he has that exorcism, so you can see that Kiritich just could not stand and fight into this. They lose 2. They lose both supports. Now, one move. Do they get this Roche for free? The Hawks as well trying to scout out into the pit, but it looks like Nemiga. Are they going to try and contest into this fight? Just trying to throw the axes in, maybe look for a steal, but they have to time this absolutely perfectly. The techies, Malrine, he wants to be coming in. He stops the onslaught, sure. And now Afterlife, he's just sitting in the front of this. The exorcism's going to be wearing off. Hellscream comes in with a blast.
Big
off.
one!
Are they going to be able to get the jump in? Maybe get the steal off there as well. The Aegis, it's still there. It's still on the ground. Who picks it up? It's going to be going the way of Malrine. Malrine, can he get himself away? The pulverize. He gets the steal on the Aegis, but can he get himself out of the pit to silence the damage off now as well? Primal Beast being locked down by the Syrian Chains. Afterlife's just going to go for the TPs, and Malrine assassinate onto the Primal Beast. It's not enough damage to get the kill, but maybe enough to dissuade him from going up onto the high ground.
I really like that Malrine stopped that onslaught previously. They were waiting for the techies. They needed him to start the fight. And really, it did change so much. But one move still positioning greatly. And I think they're going to be the winners of the overall engagement.
I mean, they get the kill on Savasi there as well. Gilgas stealing that pulverize. And the damage comes through. Terrorblade! He couldn't get himself. He didn't even have the Sunder to get himself back up to a decent amount of health. Walking into the hero just loses his life again.
Middle tower is under
Kiritich is under a lot of pressure in this game. You can see it. He feels like he needs to do a bit more, given that he's already made mistakes. And that is something that can happen. It seems like it has gotten to his head that he made those mistakes. Now he uses the meta. If I don't use this meta properly, there's no way we're winning the game. And then you make an even greater mistake. One move are going to be so happy right now. Even with not taking the Aegis, they still get the Roche. They get rid of the Aegis, and they want to fight convincingly.
The blink away quick fingers there from Malrine, because the pulverize was still available on Gilga, so he is going to be able to get himself away for now. Do they carry on chasing though? As you can see, the top lane, Ironclad's popped that BKB, trying to get himself on top of Sobad, and the TP comes away from the Primal Beast on the map. But meanwhile, Sobad, one more dive in, and they're going to be able to get the kill. Ironclad solo killing off the tree.
Yeah, beautifully done by him as well. He knows that the Primal Beast is on the other side of the map. Techie's was dead at the moment, and there is just no way he can die. Ironclad does have these defensive items, so he can go for these kind of plays. And it has now gotten to a point where Nemiga, their lineup that can push out waves, defend towers, it's not gonna be so easy to do so because Ironclad can be so annoying with these defensive items, putting his team in a position where they can more easily control areas, and this is not good for Nemiga. That is the main problem.
Yeah, there's no fortification here as well. Afterlife solo on the bottom lane, while the rest of his team in the mid lane. Looking, you can see the spread between the heroes on the side of one move, just between that tier 2 on the bottom and the mid lane river point, that they were spread out to react in case anything came through. And Afterlife, he's not even going to pop this exorcism for the tower again, saving it for a potential fight to break out. It looks like he's just going to try and take it down with right clicks through that living armor.
And on the top lane, Ironclad tried to defend the tower. It's not gonna work out too well for him. He does get pushed back, but if he wasn't jumped on by Malrine and continues to spam there, maybe one move even mount up a defense. In the end, it's just gonna be a tower trade.
Yeah, and I still think one move are going to be happy with that, because they held that exorcism, you know, a big team fight ult to come through. They didn't need to expand it to get to the living armor. Ironclad, he's got himself the BKB still, the Lincoln Spheres there as well for him, and they could look to potentially fight into this if they want to.
They most definitely could. Currently, though, I'm looking at one move, and I don't think they want to be going for big engagements during daytime. They want to use the nighttime vision of the sniper. They understand that in the vision department, they're on the back foot. So even with being ahead, you know that it could turn out badly for you. So you just wait it out. You don't have to force the issue. Trade currently, and then when the circumstances are better for you, then you can strike.
Yeah. There is going to be smoke out from Nemiga. Let's see if they're going to be able to connect. Maybe get the jump on onto one move though in the river. They are standing. Aincrad's the furthest one forward. With this Lincoln's going to be again really hard with not a lot of single target focus spells to break it. Aincrad's going to go for the DP out. Does he cancel this now as well? The damage comes through, and you can see that he's not even popped the BKB onto the Primal Beast just yet. Now the Pulverize will be onto the Tuskar, but in that river the roar comes through onto the Sniper. Sniper is going to be blown up. Hellscream getting so many mines down, and Sniper just could not get himself out of that. Gets killed off. Aincrad, he's on the retreat, trying to get himself around, trying to run himself away. Bottles up that arcane room, but the blink comes in. Marine Searing Chains though has that Pulverize in 5 seconds. Can Aincrad get himself away from this? Has a remnant, has to go for that BKB. Might even try and contest onto the fight, but the rest of his team nowhere to be seen. So Aincrad just going to go for the BKB runaway. Meanwhile, in that radiant part of the mid lane, they do get the kill onto Hellscream. But now the jump comes in. Lincoln Sphere, it's going to be used, and the Pulverize comes out. They're going to be able to get the kill onto Aincrad. Aincrad going to get himself away. He absolutely can.
Well, they decided to fight during daytime, and even with the positioning a little bit towards the areas that they were controlling, it goes badly. And Nemiga, they're now... Is this Rax? Is this Rax on the top lane, actually? Considering that you don't have a glyph, 3 of your heroes don't have a buyback, at least it's a tier 3.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's going to be, especially with Aincrad being down for the next minute or so. No way to defend this, and they're just going to go for this push in. Afterlife, not even near the base, so they need to wait for the creep wave to catch up. But yeah, if they want to go in for this, they could potentially look to take at least a range Rax here in this lane.
See if they're going to be focusing on that one. They just leave the illusion and then go back. They don't want to risk it. They understand one more fight like that and you can win the game. And one move, it's just such little things that can change the fight. That's why Aincrad needs to constantly be in deep so that he sees where the enemies are. Because if Munkushi gets jumped, the fight is just over. You won't have that constant output of damage, especially if he dies instantly without doing anything in a fight.
Yeah, and I like that the Primal Beast as well went for the Sheep Stick, so he's got a way to break that Lincoln's and still get the Pulverize off onto the Ember Spirit while having control in the fight for the rest of the heroes. But
looking at it, one move, they're not ahead any longer. Their Sniper and their Ember, they have a lot of net worth, but one thing, their DP can be bursted, because in the later portions of the game, it just comes to that point where that is possible to happen. So their Tusk doesn't have a Blink Dagger just yet, so saves for the DP. If she gets gone on and blown up instantly, they're not gonna be there. So it puts you in a very uncomfortable spot. In one move, they're going for a smoke. I like that they're going for it now, considering that nighttime is coming. Just prepare for a fight, get into a good position, and then with the nighttime vision of the Sniper, you can win the fight.
yeah, but I think they just smoked underneath a Hawk.
I think it was flying over them later on, but either way, so much vision from Nemiga that they're gonna understand that something is up.
Yeah, and they're going to go for a smoke themselves here on the side of Nemiga and pushing through. It looks like one move just use it to get that outpost back, but Nemiga, are they going to get the jump Afterlife in the trees? But they're going to go around the wide way, so the smoke doesn't break just yet. Pantomime could be. Ice shots do fly through. Kiritich, he's trying to throw out the reflection now as well. Marine Snowball comes through, but he's going to be able to pop that BKB. Aura's Punch is still abused. Hellscream gets the dive into the back line. Onto the Rubik. Can he find out the Sniper? The Sniper with the Force Staff over. Hurricane Pike trying to get himself away from that Primal Beast. And now the Spirit Siphon. The buybacks comes through from the Rubik. They can get the chase on onto Kiritich. Kiritich taking a lot of damage. Searing Chains now as well. They lift up into the air and they get the kill. He didn't use his BKB? Didn't use the BKB onto the Terrorblade, and now the Walrus Punch comes out into Fazia. He was looking for that BKB TP out. They're going to be able to take 2.
Oh man, so much damage from the Sniper can be mitigated with magic resistance, but Kiritich is just dropping the ball in this game. I just have to say it. If he played a slightly better game, this would be so good for Nemiga. Just so many little things that weren't hard to do that could have prevented a lot of his deaths or even given a bit more to his team. But yeah, one move. When the Sniper is in a good position, it's just hard to play. It seems like Nemiga at that point are lost. So at some point, the Terrorblade will be getting a Blink Dagger, and we can see that after the Chrysalis, he's already preparing for that one.
Yeah, but... Okay, so it's going to be the Hurricane Pike, Daedalus, and that as well as the Swift Blink that he wants to go for to complete, 6 slot himself up here. But again, while this is going on, Munkushi, he's got himself that Hurricane Pike. He can get himself close to the shard if he wants to. And he's still going to be buying into a Lincoln, so he wants that survivability. The Silver Edge to come out as well. Extra damage there. The crit potential coming out for Munkushi. So every time this Terror Blade goes down like that without using the BKB, it just creates more space for the sniper to catch up and get ahead.
The thing about this game is that one move, it's currently their time to end it, to overtake it, to get the big lead. So Nemiga, they can slow it down if they want. They haven't lost too many towers on the map. The only problem is the Roche. The Roche is the spot where one move are gonna try to make something.
Well, they get the lockdown onto the tree, so they're at least going to be able to get a kill from that. That's something. And you can see that one move here. They are setting up around this Roche pit. They're looking to... I'm surprised the Tusk doesn't have a gem yet, to try and deal with these Hawks that keep coming out. But for the minute, I mean, Roshan, the big man, is about 50 seconds away. You can see Malrine trying to do his best to get the D-wards off. But I don't see one move leaving this upper part of the map and potentially giving up this Roche.
After Pantomime buys the Blink, the next thing on the repertoire, I think, is going to be the gem.
Yeah.
I think he understands that the Blink snowball save could completely change the tides of the fight, even if it starts in a way that is not ideal for you. So I like that he is going for a Blink dagger. I think it actually gives them a lot in this game.
Yeah, and you can see the Death Buff as well, trying to cut the wave, pull it in, just keep the aggro onto this tier 1 tower, which I suppose that's a way for Nemiga to get into this. If they do lose a couple of heroes around this Roche fight, they still have a tier 1, a tier 2 to TP to get back into the fight quickly around this Roche pit. So we'll see. And Nemiga are going to go for the smoke as well. They know with this, the creep pull were roughly one move. The wards are down. They're going to be able to see Pantomime. The Hex comes out into the into the trample damage, and this is going to be a lot of damage onto. Can he get himself away? No, Pantomime just gets cleaned up. He has to buy back, and now the Rune comes out onto the Ember Spirit, though, with that BKB, the BKB is going to be wearing off. Do they have the damage to take him down? He's going to be taking a lot of damage. The Roar comes out now as well.
No vision!
Cape, it might keep him alive. Yeah, the damage coming through, even through the stun. That Glimmer Cape, it's going to be enough to keep him alive. And the Roar was stolen. They're going to be able to get the lockdown onto the Terror Blade. But Mari, he wants to be coming in with the onslaught. Munkushi just pops that BKB, and now they can carry on going with those rifles. Cleaning up. Kiritich, though, has to sunder onto his own support. Bai's going to be taking a lot of damage. That's going to be his BKB down. And with the Exorcism being up for one move, they can march into the pit.
They definitely can. And actually, Aincrad does have a gem that was bought by Pantomime, so at some point he did buy it. How didn't I see it there on the yeah, for some reason it's not showing on my or it wasn't showing on my all items tab. Either way, the that was a big fight. And not having a Glimmer Cape, man, that is so big, really. That not having a dust for the Glimmer Cape. If the Ember dies, you can continue fighting. But because the Ember lives for so long, Gilgir finds the initiation with the Blink Primal Roar. Really beautiful stuff. And, you could say that Gilgir kept that fight alive for them with the Glimmer and then with the Stolen Roar as well.
And you see that Aincrad, he's hunting on the bottom lane. The rest of one move are up onto this top part of the map here. In fact, Gilgir might be making a way over, but Malrine, he's already in the trees. And yeah, giving Munkushi that Aegis, he's got the full Melania now as well. The Lincoln Sphere comes out. He's going to have that Silver Edge in the next couple of camps as well.
For sure. But that fight, I really liked the way that one move moved in the fight. Because you could see that Pantomime was communicating to them when he got caught. First, everyone just started running away. But then suddenly they start fighting around him, even though the Tusk, there's very low chances of him surviving. Because he says, I have buyback, continue fighting. It doesn't matter if I die, we can still go for this one. And that's exactly what they do. And in the end, they win the fight.
Yeah, and really being able to turn it around, like you say, Nemiga not having the reveal to take down the Ember Spirit, when you're just being kept alive through a Glimmer Cape of all things, no high ground wards, nothing like that to get the jump onto him to finish him off. And that's just such a feel bad there for Nemiga that, yeah, and then one move come right back into it, taking away the Aegis away from them there as well. Kiritich, he has a decent amount of farm, but it just seems like he's being kited and controlled every single fight.
Yeah, he doesn't have a single mobility item. He doesn't have the Hurricane Pike. He doesn't have the Blink. He wants both of them now, and for good reason. It is of the utmost necessity that he has that one. If he cannot move around the fight, if he cannot get the hits in, it's a problem. And the lineup from Nemiga is not heavy on lockdown. They have it, but it's not heavy on lockdown that you're constantly spamming out stuns. You know, the Overgrowth, you have the Roar. After that one, the Beastmaster and the Treant, they lose their ability. That's why we're seeing them, you know, getting items like the Hex to help them.
Mid lane, Mallory, why are you so far up? He has to pop the BKB. Onslaught comes out to get himself away, but Mallory, that BKB, is it going to be able to keep him alive? It is going to be nothing to disrupt the BKB TP out. But it looks like one move. Do they want to go for more? There is going to be 3 heroes here, and they could try and make something happen because the Primal Beast already TP'd himself back to base. So can they get the contest? Is going to jump in. They even find the attack. He's going to be caught out. Telekinesis being used by Gilga. That's self-telekinesis. But it looks like Techie's in the trees. Hellscream. No, the chase still comes out. The Assassinate's going to be there, and the damage on the Techies. He will go down.
What I really like in this game from one move, and the reason why we didn't see that gem, is that they're keeping the gem in the base. I think the reason for it is, guys, if we are taking over an area, we bring the courier with the gem, and then we just deward the enemy wards, and we send it back. It's not like we need the gem at all times. Once we deward the area, we put one sentry where we know that the Hawk is going to be coming from, and that's it. And that has been how they approached it. I think in the Eastern European DPC, I haven't seen this thus far.
Oh, the jump in though. I think he'll be able to get the kill onto Vazzy. Vazzy can get himself away. That BKB throws his out. It's Roar. But if Gilga jumps in, Gilga still has a Roar of himself. And now they're going to be able to kill Vazzy. Vazzy just could not get himself away from this one. While Nemiga are putting pressure onto that top lane, that range Rax does still barely stand.
What the side of one move are doing right now is that they're creating chaos on the map. They don't want to allow Nemiga. Oh, Kiritich has been caught, and they have a Roar still.
I love that as well. He just throws out that Glimmer Cape. Kiritich going to try and get himself away, so it looks like they're not going to be able to get it. Yeah, the Roar from the Rubik already comes out, but the damage now as well. They've got the lockdown onto the Primal Beast with the Walrus Punch. The BKB wears off, and Amari, he does save Kiritich, but it cost him his life.
No, I mean, you need to bail out the Terrorblade, really. He's the one that you're going to be relying on later on. And luckily, though, for Nemiga, at least, there's not going to be any more Roars on Gilgir. Man, this Rubik is so powerful. He also got an Axe from the Roche. It really changes things quite a lot. Gilgir has been impressive in this game. And when you look at his net worth, he's getting close to some of the cores. Or most of them, actually.
Yeah, the extra boost coming through from the Shard, as well as the Aghanim Scepter, the Aghanim's Blessing from that Roshan, from the 2 Roshans, yeah, really gets him up there. And the power potential for Gilga, having that gap close into the telekinesis without having to use your blink, or if you do blink in and then being able to onslaught away. This Rubik, you know, he's got all the tools he needs to set up for a great fight for the side of one move.
Exactly. And in that timing where we talked about that one move now is their time to get ahead, they did manage to do so. 20,000 gold is a good enough lead to go forward, and also to delay these mobility items in the Terrorblade. And that is kind of the thing. 45 minutes in, you need to have those mobility items, but because Kiritich didn't have a good game, because he made a couple of mistakes, now he's unable to really contribute much to the fight, or as much as he would like to.
Yeah, the Living Armor's coming out onto that melee Rax, but look at it with the double damage rune just fading off on the sniper. The exorcism still going, how quickly they tear through the buildings here. And they don't even need to take this range Rax, because this lane will now push in, and it keeps the pressure on Nemiga to respond to it, to see that they don't lose a full lane of Rax. But one move, just really nicely timed. The double damage rune fortuitous, but they've made their own luck a lot of the time in this game. Mari's going to try and get that jump up now. They get themselves on top of Gilga, but Gilga, he has the Aeon Disc. The Pulverize does come through, and they are still going to be able to get the kill onto the Rubik. The Overgrowth onto 3 heroes. Can they go even further onto this now as well? Anchored on the back lines. He's got a Refresher, trying to do what he can with the damage coming through with the BKB. Lockdown onto the Beastmaster. The chase down, dies himself back to the rest of his team, and it looks like they might try and change targets onto Hellscream. Hellscream, Assassinate's going to be there now as well. Anchored, he's got that extra BKB time with the Refresher. And Malrine, he's already used the BKB. The Hex is going to be available. The Link Sphere gets broken, and this is going to be Inkrat taken down, diving a little bit too far. Didn't have the cheese to get the mana back, or his health back for that matter.
Best 2 heroes without buyback. The question is only if Nemiga knows it, but considering that he has a Refresher, I mean, you would assume that he's not all that rich, so there is a chance that Nemiga just tried to go forward now.
Yeah, they are going to go for more Pantomime. Jumping up onto the cliff, the Hex comes out, those stops the TP, and this is going to be, even with the self-teasy on the cliff they're coming out, they still get the kill onto Pantomime.
Yep, nicely done. It does buy some time, and Nemiga, they have a little bit more in the metamorphosis. I would go for this right now. Of course, we have all the info, but they saw the refresher. They should have the idea that one move are a little bit crippled in terms of buybacks. The Tusk is gonna have his now at least, so that's something. Last time he died, he bought back, and now he's gonna be dead for a long time. But at least he does have the buyback.
Yeah. Nemiga playing it safe, pushing out this mid lane here as well, using the Terrorblade illusions just to keep the creep momentum going the way of Nemiga, you know, keeping it away from the range racks, making sure they can leave the base to get something out of this. And how is the Terrorblade looking in terms of farm now? So he has it's a 6-second BKB, the Daedalus Blink Dagger does come out, so he's getting close to I think he can pick up the Swift Blink if he wants it. In terms of buyout, I think he has the gold as well if he wants to buy out and have buyback.
Yeah, he did buy out, and he does have buyback. I think now for Nemiga, what they're trying to do, why didn't they go for a push? They're just trying to push in the waves so that they can prepare better for the next fight, and that's why they didn't go forward. All three of the lanes are pushed in, and the Roche is about to spawn, or we're about to know when the Roche will spawn, actually. So now you just continue to do that. You try to pick off anyone who's trying to split push, and then you set yourselves up for a successful Roche. Look at it, it's gonna be a relatively early one, so if you get one kill, especially on someone like an Ember, you could easily walk into the pit.
Yeah, 40 seconds before the big man is back in his pit here. And
Arcane Rune on the Primal Beast, that's a big one.
This could be, yeah, the time is going to be great here around the Roche fight, if that's what's going to break out. And I think both teams, they know the timing on this Roche, and you know, they have an idea that maybe coming back up. So it looks like one move smoking through, maybe trying to win a fight, take someone down before Roshan is back up. But Mari is so close, doesn't break the smoke. That's the most important thing. You know, if he breaks that smoke on the high ground, Aincrad might jump in. They get the lockdown, potentially look for a kill. But you can see that the Ember Spirit looking to push out this top lane. So he's not going to be here when this fight breaks out. Has the Remnant to jump back to if he needs to. But Nemiga not pushing that 4 versus 5 advantage.
One move went for a smoke to overtake the triangle area so that they can push out the lanes more safely. If they just go to push out the lanes, it could be dangerous. But if you overtake a part of the map, force your enemies back, then it's going to be much easier to do so and not get caught.
I mean, we take a look at the Ember Spirit, you know, in terms of items, excuse me, he's got himself the Shivas, the Lincoln's coming out, going towards the Glepnir as well, so that's going to be really nice around these fights, especially seeing as all the BKBs on the side of Nemiga are really darn low.
They most definitely are. Every single BKB is low, if we look at it. The only thing that's going to be changing that are the refreshers. Aincrad has one, and the Terrorblade is looking to buy one as well, which is something that he does need. He has 6 slotted, so either changing the Yasha, upgrading it, or getting that refresher. And also he would love the Roche for the Aghanim Scepter. That is the big thing for Nemiga, which would give them that awesome initiation that they've been lacking for the majority of the game.
Yeah. Nemiga smoked up. They have a rough idea where one move might be. The Hawk's being sent in as well. Marine, he's going to go all the way behind as well. He has that Arcane Rune being popped. And Gilgia, well, the Terrorblade illusion might see them here now as well. Pantomime, Munkushi, he's going to be alone. He had him behind that tree. It is only an illusion. And Pantomime comes in, but Marine, he's going to be able to get the dive. The Hex comes out, but there's going to be the telekinesis. And Marine, he doesn't have that BKB. The jump comes through. Hellscream there as well. They do a lot of damage. And they're going to kill Pantomime. Excuse me. Hellscream just go down and return. So bad. He's going to be the next one to fall. Can he do the damage onto Afterlife? Afterlife with a refresh.
No one is touching the sniper.
Do what he can with the link, excuse me, the Lotus as well, keeping himself alive. They do have the damage to take down Afterlife. That's the Exorcism gem on the deck, but the chases are out. Buybacks coming through, and Mari the Assassinate. Is it going to be enough for the kill? It is going to be an Aincrad, and now, even with one move, losing the Death Prophet, no buyback, Munkushi, he just wants to walk into the pit.
Oh man, Munkushi was in such a good position, staying in the river. They can't get to him. He also has a blink. He had a BKB. He didn't need to use anything. The only one that kept him in place was the tree, and because he saw his teammates can't get through, and he's using the overgrowth. He's using everything to keep him at bay. It's not gonna help Munkushi if untouched. if left unattended, he's just gonna destroy you. A long fight where the sniper is just attacking. He's not even running away from you. He's just staying and hitting you. That's it. And again, the only one you kill is a Tusk. And he again communicates, I have a buyback, guys. I'm coming back. We are winning this fight.
Yeah, and you can see that the sniper, he now gets the Aghanim's Blessing up. It was on the Reddit threads of Kimosabi, he does like the daily like threads of all the games that are being played. He calls this one an Oprah rush. Like, you get an item and you get an item and you get an item. Everybody gets items, but Sniper, he takes 2 of them with the Aegis as well as the Ag's Blessing. Coming through here, they might... Oh no, so bad he does get that jump away. Just trying to do what he can with the Nature's Grasp, just to keep this lane pushed out. But Munkushi just steps up to the high ground, and they're going to be able to clean up a second tier 3 tower.
One of the best initiation tools in the game is the Sniper Axe, right? On a sniper, it's a luxury item. You know, maybe you could see some off-lane support sniper with an Aghanim Scepter in your pubs, but in competitive games, very rarely happens. But when it is there, it is so hard to deal with. You get seen, you get stunned from quite far away, and then your teammates can, they can decide, are we gonna go in or are we gonna go back? It really doesn't matter. Overall, this could be a great tool for one move to start the fights off, and when they're pushing in the tower, seeing their enemies, they can just be very annoying with it as well.
Yeah, look at this ward in the base as well from the side of one move, getting a really deep observer down. The sentry comes out close to the racks just in case that, you know, that's where one move, maybe just to get the distance away. If Nemiga think the ward's a little bit further forward, just being able to keep that vision between the fountain and the racks to see where the heroes on the side of Nemiga are looking to defend this one move. It's a really nice setup as well. If they potentially see the defense in that ward, they could go for a smoke through the mid lane and try and get a backstab off in Nemiga's own base.
Yeah, that ward is not going to be touched, it seems like. And they're attacking from multiple sides. It's hard for Nemiga to position properly. And their lineup, it kind of relies on it because they need to start off the fight by bursting someone down.
Yeah, the exorcism does come out Afterlife. There's no fortification on the side of Nemiga, and you can see that the assassinate even being thrown out. Fazia taking a lot of damage, maybe trying to force out the BKB for the Beastmaster, but the Beastmaster with that Glen, he gets locked down, he gets killed off. Yeah, Mari gets to dive in with his own BKB, and the damage coming through, but Phantom, he has the cheese, but he wants to keep himself alive, and now the stuns. The damage coming through from one move there, just ripping through the entire Nemiga team, and they might even be able to go with 2 heroes dead, no buybacks. One move, all 5 heroes being here, they want to carry on going. Only the exorcism down in terms of ults now as well, but the refresher shard is there for the Death Prophet. They can just go tier 4s, and Nemiga, I don't know what they can do to try and stop this.
Speaking of refreshers, Therablade just finished off his. He sold the Yasha, but he might not even get it out.
He is dead, no buyback, and this is going to be game number 1, going the way of one move. So their bid for survival here in this first series of the day, starting off to a great start, and Nemiga just made key mistakes, it seems like, cost them a lot of momentum in this game.
Definitely we know how to play this lineup, and you don't know how to play your lineup. As we mentioned in the draft, this was not a Nemiga lineup, right? They don't usually rely on that ultra late game core. Even though Kiritich has been able to carry games in the past, it has usually come down to him having a hero that can fight early, but also then in the ultra late game, because of that early fighting, he gets his levels and his items, and he wins. With the Terrorblade, definitely dropped the ball, a couple of mistakes. And one move on their side, Munkushi on the sniper, was amazing. But it wasn't only the sniper, really. The entire team played so well. And even in those fights, we talked about communication. You could literally see from the way they're moving, the way that they're communicating. And it's all fast words that everyone is reacting to. I have buyback, fight, turn around, let's go, back, stuff like that. It was very crisp. It was very nice. And the reason why one move got the victory.
Yeah, and... just a quick look at the damage dealt to buildings here as well. You expect Afterlife to be the top of that. Only did 5,000 damage to buildings. I say only, you know, as if that's a small amount, but 5,000 damage to buildings here for Afterlife. Munkushi doing 17,000. And that just goes to show how well the sniper was positioned in these fights. That even when Nemiga, you know, tried to engage on, tried to save the buildings, Munkushi just had the position to blink down, get himself away, get back in, find the building damage, find the hero damage as well. And going 12, 3, and 14 here, Munkushi positioning. I'm not going to say it was perfect because there were a couple of times, you know, he was caught out in a suboptimal position, but for the most part, his team knew how to fight around the sniper, and he knew where he needed to be to get the most out of his hero as well.
I'm gonna say it's perfect. I mean, you're still playing against people. You're not playing against someone who doesn't know how to play Dota. You're not playing against amateurs. You're playing against pro players. Obviously, considering that their one crucial thing in the fight is to find you, and you only get caught a couple of times, and the time he got caught is I'm not popping my BKB in time. It really wasn't his positioning. So I think him and the team understood perfectly well where to stand, how to stand. Sometimes, obviously, you're not going to utilize everything well and you're going to lose the fight. But Munkushi, overall, his positioning was on point in this game. But it's not only his win, because if his team wasn't pressuring, wasn't running into the enemies the way they did, throwing bodies at them, it wouldn't be so easy to stay in a good place and just dish out the damage.
Yeah, so this is the first game of the first series. It is a relegation battle. We're going to find out what's going to happen in the second game. If Nemiga can bring it back for that bid for survival or one move, can they force it to survivability? Potential tiebreakers. We'll find out after the break.